All right, we have another great interview lined up. One of the best players in the NFL, James, and he's also a brother in freckles. And that's Steelers linebacker Alex Highsmith. Yeah. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today here on the NFL Report.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. Hey, before we talk some football, man, we got to talk a little bit about your head coach because, you know, you're around him all the time, and he's dropping these verbal pearls just all the time. I mean, today somebody asked him, you know, about what's going on with George Pickens and this and that. He said, that's just a pebble in my shoe. So tell us about Mike Tomlin, like some of the great sayings he comes up with, and do they ever get tired?
I mean, he's got so many sayings. You know, we all love Coach T, and you know, that's, you know, one of the reasons we love him. We love him. You know, he keeps it real with us, and he's such a player's coach. You know, he's always walking around talking to us throughout the day, and he wants the best out of all of us. I'd probably say my favorite Tomlinism quote from him is pressure is ever present. You're either feeling it or applying it. And I mean, he says, I choose to apply it. And so, I mean, it's true. You're either always, you know, feeling that pressure or you're applying it. And so I'd probably say that's my favorite Tomlinism out of all of them. He's got a lot, but I'd say that's my favorite.
That's strong.
It is.
Ooh, I love that. I'm gonna write that one down real quick. Hold on, guys. Got that one down. Keep that one for myself. And kind of with that said, Alex, I was at your guys' game. You lose to Jacksonville, and then you bounce back, and obviously you know you got to stop a physical running back in Derrick Henry the next week. What did that performance? I know it's a rookie quarterback you're going against in his second NFL start, but you know that's a physical offense you were going against. What did that kind of performance you guys did defensively kind of help you kind of get back to your ways in a sense, maybe?
Yeah, it was big for us, you know. I feel like we played well. We were far from perfect, and there's, you know, plenty of areas that we can be better at. But I think coming into that game, you know, the goal was to stop Derrick Henry and get after him and then get after Will Levis. And so I think we, you know, stuck to our game plan. You know, we were able to stop him in some ways. And then, you know, I think Will Levis is going to be a great quarterback in this league. And so he had a great, you know, first game against the Falcons. He came out was throwing it well against us as well. And so I think he's going to be a great quarterback in this league in the future. But I think, you know, we just had to get after him. We had to apply pressure all night. You know, knew that they were coming into our environment, Thursday night football at Acrisure. So we knew we had to, you know, get after him and apply. But, you know, I think we just took a step. But, you know, we analyzed the film. There's still plenty of ways we can get better. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we get better this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday you play the Green Bay Packers, you know, one of the classic franchises, just like yourselves in the NFL. And if we can call this up, you guys are wearing your throwback uniforms right here. Also, great picture of you rocking the 56. But Alex, for a lot of people, I mean, they're not going to be able to tell much of the discrepancy there. What is the actual throwback look here?
Yeah, it's just the block numbers. So that's what when it says back and block, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the numbers. So the numbers are a little bit bigger, a little bit more defined than our normal black and black jerseys. So that's really the main difference. And we wore them last year. We won on Christmas Eve. So we got to get another win in them this Sunday. But I think they also painted the end zones yellow for those games during last year. So I wonder if they're going to do the same for this year. But, you know, I'm excited to wear those and rock those this Sunday.
Great. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Real quick, I want to get to, you know, talking about the narrative going around the NFL this year. Look, scoring is down. Scoring is down to 21.7 points a game. That's the lowest since 2009. Everyone's talking about offenses or this, and they're struggling doing that. But isn't the narrative actually the defenses have caught up and the defenses are playing a little bit better football than they have the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I think the point, like you said, the point average just shows that. I think, you know, defenses are playing well this year. And so, you know, I think for us, you know, defensively, you know, we haven't been as good as we want to in that area, keeping points off the board, but we know we just got to continue to get better in that area. But I think, you know, from those stats, it shows that, you know, defenses, you know, we're starting to get better and better in this league.
And a big part of your guys' defense, and I remember talking to you the other, you know, maybe a week ago about this, Alex, was kind of splash plays that you guys are able to make. You know, TJ's made a lot of them. You've made a lot of them over the last couple of years. What is it about those type of plays that allow maybe the both of you and some other guys on your defense to make those type of plays? Can you ever sense when one of those might be coming?
Yeah, I mean, we always say you got to have the ball, and I think that's something we pride ourselves on as a defense is getting turnovers and taking the ball away. And I think we've done a good job of that this year so far. You know, whether it's, you know, forced fumbles, strip sacks, or interceptions. I think we've done a good job, of that so far. We just got to continue to get better in that area. And so it's awesome being around a group of guys that, are willing to, practice and work on getting the ball, because we practice those things in practice. We practice, punching the ball out. We practice, interceptions and getting those things. And so I think it's just so important, to practice those good habits, and then they translate to the game. And so they've done that. It's done that for us this year so far. And so we look forward to just getting even more throughout this year.
But, Alex, you led the NFL in strip sacks last year and forced fumbles. What is your secret? Because you've already got a couple this year, too. You're on your way to surpassing your total of 5 from last year. What is it about the way you rush the passer that allows you to do that?
Yeah, I just think it's always searching for the ball. I always want to get the ball out. And I know there's so many different rules now on hitting quarterbacks, and a lot of roughing the passer calls have been called this year and stuff. And so I think there's just an emphasis on, getting the ball, searching for the ball, not necessarily just tackling the quarterback, but getting the ball out. And so that's something that, like I said, we work on in practice a lot. We work on coming around the edge and then reaching for the ball and stripping it. And so that's something I've worked on a lot, because I know that, sacks are great, they end drives, but strip sacks are even better, because they can, set up, our offense in great field position and, just get turnovers as well. And so that's what we pride ourselves on, is really getting the ball out.
I don't think it's any secret, Alex. Those have helped out your offense, which through the first 3 quarters of games have been struggling to kind of get their thing going. And then in the fourth quarter, bam, we see it's Kenny Pickett and company, and they start moving the football. What have those first 3 quarters been like as a defensive unit, though? Maybe they're going to get it going by the fourth, but you got to make sure maybe you got to keep things close. I'm not sure. Like, what does it feel like through the first 3 as a defense?
Yeah, I just think for us is the whole game, the mindset is just to control what we can control. Just going out there and, getting off the field. And that's an area that we have to be better at. That's an area we haven't been good at enough, is getting off the field quickly. And a lot of teams have had long drives on us, and there's been some long drives where we've got turnovers towards the end of the drive. So I think we just got to be better at just getting off the field with 3 and outs and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's about just controlling what we can control, and that's going out there and getting stops every single drive.
Well, Alex, what's interesting now, too, is we're at the midway point of the season, and every team in the AFC North would be in the playoffs right now. I mean, no surprise. You know how tough this division is. But, understanding the way that you guys play each other again, all these teams again, do you think that the season could end with all 4 of you teams in the playoffs?
I mean, absolutely. This division's a juggernaut. It's a heavyweight battle. And so, all 4 teams in our division are really good teams. And so, coming down towards the end of the season, I know it's going to be a tight race. And so every game from here on out matters, especially those division games. I know we got the Packers this week, and then we got 2 straight road division games. So those are going to be big games for us. But, that's one thing I love about playing in the AFC North is just the competition. And, over the past couple of years, developing these rivalries with these teams is just awesome. And so it's definitely going to be, all those matchups are going to be high intensity, and they're going to mean a lot, especially towards the end of the year.
I have to say this. I mean, no slight to any other team or anybody else playing in another division, Alex. But what is it truly like playing in this division? I mean, to me, right, Steve, it has to be more physical than any other division in football. Is it more draining, you think, than what other guys are going through in other divisions?
I think, just like you said, it's the most physical division in the league. AFC North, I feel like it always has been. When you look back, and at the old Steelers and Ravens rivalries, and just how how physical those games were. When the Ravens had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and we had James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, and the rest of the crew. I think, you look at those games, and those are physical games, and they stay like that now because, I feel like every team in this division can run the ball well. And so I think it just starts up front, just being physical. But like you said, every single matchup in the AFC North is physical, that's for sure.
And one thing, too, I want to talk, since we're talking about these throwback jerseys, what you and T.J. Watt have going on, too, is kind of a throwback to like the Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green era of the Steelers. There's 2 great pass rushers. How do you play off of each other? Is it all just schematic, or do you guys have a certain feel, especially in certain situations, to know how one guy is going to respond off the other?
Yeah, I think we work well together. We make each other better. And I feel like ever since I've gotten in the league, he's maybe a lot better as a player. I remember coming in as a rookie, having him and Bud Dupree, as guys to look up to. And And now having him, playing with him for my 4th year now, he's the best in the world at what he does. So he makes me a lot better. There's a lot of times where he gets a lot of attention, and it leaves me, having some one-on-one battles that allow me to take advantage of those. And so I just, love working with him. And I think, we're just going to continue to get better throughout the year.
Last one I have for you, Alex, is obviously everything you guys have done up front. You get Cam back, which is great in the middle of that defensive line. And I look at what life is like as a member of the Steelers secondary. And I want to ask you about 2 of them back there, a young one and an older one, in terms of what have you learned about Patrick Peterson and Joey Porter Jr., who's now in a starting role, in both of those guys in your secondary now, because they're kind of new to you.
Yeah, both of those guys have been awesome for us. Great additions for us. Pat P coming in. I think it was so awesome for Joey to have him to learn from. Whenever he came in as a rookie, and just having a veteran guy like Pat P just to be able to learn from is huge for him. And so just having those guys is huge. Pat P he's a great leader in our locker room, and Joey's starting to step up now into the starting role, and he's been playing well. He's only going to continue to get better. So we're just thankful to have both of those guys. And so just looking forward to seeing how both of them continue to get better throughout the year.
Alex Highsmith, man, appreciate you taking some time. Love watching you play. Good luck the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.